The exercise that I've taken to liking a bit more than just the wrestler bridge support is what I call the rear neck lift or rear neck hold. The movement is subtle, but it is really working this retraction of the head, which if we think of text neck or a lot of the problem people have where they're hunched over, this is one of the motions that's working in direct opposition to that. The wrestler's bridge having that full extension of the head is one, but also the retraction is something that we want. You're starting in the same position as you do with the bridge, except here, so this is something where you're going to want to build up to a hands-free wrestler's bridge at least first. That's kind of the prerequisite. We are going to press the head into the back of the ground and lift the shoulders off. Now it's going to be hard to see, but there is a gap between, there's nothing in my shoulders touching the ground. It is just the back of my head. And you can just hold this position. This is the rear neck hold. Now we can advance this a little bit further and involve the movement by rolling up to the top of the head. Now we want to make this as pure as possible coming from the neck rather than really using the legs to kind of drive the movement. They'll obviously be involved, but try to more isolate the neck in this movement. So, and one of the ways you do that is instead of just pushing up into the top of the head, like I could do this, and it's a little bit of an explosive movement. Yeah, the neck's involved, but I want to do the lift kind of slowly and then just roll it up. So kind of articulating and lengthening the spine as I'm going. You can try relaxing on each one, so you have to get that initial lift, or you can stay above. Both of them work. This is what I call the rear neck roll. Let's cover a little bit more about how you progress with the rear neck lift and rear neck roll. With the rear neck lift, you can just hold for time. That's going to be one way to work with it, but that's just a hold. So the other way is the isometric force, really driving the back of your head into the ground. So this would just be a lift and hold. And see if you can note a difference in now I'm going to build up to a maximum forcing my head into the ground after holding. They might look similar on the outside, but the last one is way tougher because I'm pressing increasingly into the ground. So two ways of progressing with that: hold for more time, or just, I like to build up to just a 30-second hold and then add isometric force while still maintaining that isometric force throughout that time period. We can, of course, do reps with the rear neck roll. Just like you would build reps on everything else. And of course, we can also add weight to this one as well. Start small with the weights. It is actually quite difficult to do, especially if you are really, again, driving the movement or the hold, depending on what you're doing, with the neck and less with the other parts. Just doing a single rep there is pretty hard. Let's see if I can do a roll. So just with 35 pounds here, that is a very difficult move. So understand, with the wrestler's bridge, I can support way more weight than this, quite easy once I'm in that position. But here, working kind of that weak link of the retraction movement of the neck, where a little bit goes a long way, it's a much harder, much more difficult movement to do. So a couple different ways of progressing with this, but this has become one of my favorite neck exercises. I like to combine this with the front neck plank, which we're covering coming up next.